Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to have a seat on the mat. You can sit up on a block, bolster, cross your legs so that perhaps your ankles are underneath your knees. If you're a little stiff in the morning like I am, just go ahead and sit in the most comfortable cross-legged position. And then place your hands on top of your thighs or good morning. And let me see whose name this is. Manuela, good morning. And if you'd like to be on camera, just turn yourself on. If not, enjoy. So we're sitting in a cross-legged pose, Sukhasana. Hands on top of your knees or palms up or palms down, your choice, or maybe hands in prayer, anything that just kind of grounds you right now. And so sit up in front of your sitting bones. If that doesn't happen so easily, just sit on a block, bolster. And just begin to let your shoulder blades descend and let your heart ascend. Open up your heart. Bring your collarbones, spread them open. And remember, this is a class of many levels. So, and I don't know some of you that well personally, so I always encourage you to just find your place. You know, enhance it if you need to, and take away from it if you need to. And then bring your hands, everybody, to your heart and just set an intention for your morning practice. Thumbs touching the heart, drop your chin down, gazing down towards the tip of your nose, that internal gaze. Set an intention, a thought, a mantra, which is just a repetitive statement or word over and over. And bring your hands to your third eye, just kind of sealing it into that space. With your hands at your third eye, just bow forward, just enough to keep your hips connected to the earth. Then release your arms and walk them forward. Push your hips back and allow your heart to melt towards your legs. Breathe down the sides of the body from fingertip to underarm and from the hip to the bottom of your feet. So our spine is meant to move in 6 directions, and typically we get at least 2 of them, but we always try to warm up all 6 directions. So we'll be working on that for the next few breaths. Walk your hands over to your right side. You can have your hands on the floor block. I have my blocks kind of helping my mat to open up a little bit. So elevating your hands is fine. And then walk back over through center to the other side, keeping your hips grounded all the while. Good. Come back to center, walk your hands forward one more time. And then inhale, walk your hands back towards your legs. Lean back a little bit, a lot. Shake out your legs and switch the cross of your legs. So typically we have a seat that we find that is comfortable for us, our habitual side. So let's change that side. Walk your hands forward again. Stop where you first feel it and fold into that. And stay there for as many breaths as you'd like, or continue to find little movements, small, but significant. Good. This time, walk your hands back to the center. Reach your arms up all the way overhead. Let's hook our thumbs together and spread the fingers. Open up, broaden through the collarbones. Reach out of your waistline and move a little bit side to side. Good. You might feel some snap, crackle, pop going on. Come back to the center after this last one. Spread your fingers and rotate your torso to the right. Just, it's not going to go a huge amount of space, right? Just a little bit of rotation. Left arm outside, right thigh, right arm behind you on your fingertips. Lengthen your spine, inhale. And twist deeper on the exhale. Drop your shoulders down, bring your chin towards your shoulders. Taking the right arm up and over, leaning to your left side. Exhale, come back, crossing right arm over left. Sit up tall and just grab your arms around your shoulder blades and start to make some movements. You can make circles or figure eights. And just give yourself a nice big hug and center it out for a moment. As you take the inhale, release the arms up overhead. Hook the opposite thumb or the opposite way. Lift out of your torso, make some side bends. And then come back to center. Rotate your torso to the left. Keep your hips grounded so it won't be a huge amount of movement. And then release the arms, left hand behind you, right arm outside. Inhale tall, exhale deep. Beautiful. Inhale the left arm up, lean up and over to the right side. And take your left arm across your right arm, lift your chest. Inhale, bring your arms to your shoulder blades, might feel a little different. And just make some movements in your spine. When you're ready, you settle back into the center and just hang here. Good. Inhale, release the arms up over your head. Walk your arms out in front of you. Find your first point of resistance. Stay there for a breath. And then see if you want to go a little bit longer, a little bit deeper on this last one. And walk your hands back in. Lean back again. Lift up your legs. Shake them out. And roll them over to either side. Come to your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck your toes if you'd like, arch your back, dip your belly, broaden your collarbones. And then take your cat breath, chin to chest, rounding, curl your spine. Push the floor away, really pull the shoulders apart from each other. Inhale, arch your back, dip your belly, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, round and curl, pull the chest in, or chin to chest. Inhale, arch back. Come to a neutral position, somewhere in between the two. Long spine to your tailbone, and walk your hips back to your heels and child pose. So just get a little bit more relief in the lower back here. A little bit more breath through the sides of the body. Breathe. So if you do have blocks nearby, they're always good to have. If you don't have them, Amazon does. They're very plentiful now. Inhale back to your hands and knees. Keep your arms where they are. Walk them a little bit further, in fact. And drop your chin chest down, maybe to your forehead. Keep your hips in the air. And just get a nice relief in your front shoulder chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Then one more breath. Inhale, walk your hands back in a little bit. Step your right foot in between your two hands. I'm going to use my blocks, even though they're holding my mat down. And then make sure that you're not sitting on your back knee, that the knee is behind you, and that your front knee is over your ankle. Maybe a little bit in front of it, but not too much. Broaden your collarbones by pulling your shoulder blades back and down. Lift your belly up and away from your thigh. And your back foot, your top of the foot and shin are pressing down to give you a little bit of feedback into the front of your hip and your shin. And in fact, you can be on your fingertips here or raise your blocks up higher. So that's always personal. We're going to straighten the leg and find our hamstrings this morning. Straighten your front leg. Toes come up, right hip pulls back. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Reach out over your right shin, exhale. A couple more moments here. Good. Inhale. Rebend your front knee. Keep your left hand on the floor or block. Bring your right arm back behind you and then take it up over your head. As you do this, hug your hips towards the midline. Big toe on the right foot pressing down firmly. Back of the foot and shin still pressing down. Good. Now you may need to use a block here. You may need to come up a little higher. Straighten your front leg and keep your right arm in the air. And just now you're sitting on top of your left knee. Breathe in. And you can see I'm wobbling. So there's a certain amount of balance involved here. One more breath. Good, let's rebend the front knee. Hands to the floor or blocks. Take your fingertips on the floor, lengthen your spar blocks. Tuck your toes underneath you, back leg lifts up. Lift your hips up high, straighten your leg. And then rebend your front knee, lower your hips. Good. Exhale, lift your hips up, straighten your front leg. Inhale, rebend your front knee, look forward. Good. Lift your hips up, front leg straightens. And then step your right leg in the air, three-legged dog, all the way up in the air. Then place 4 paws on the floor. Inhale, downward facing dog. As you exhale, lower the heels towards the floor. Inhale, high up on your tippy toes, pull your kneecaps up. Shift your body weight forward to a high plank, top of a push-up position. Press the earth away, pull your belly in and dome your shoulders slightly. Exhale, hips up in the air. Chest towards your thighs. Breathing in and breathing out. Anytime you need padding, you can put a towel or you double up your mat. Good. Come back to your high plank. Lower your right knee to the floor and step your left foot forward. Help it out if you need to, in front of you. So I've got some kind of funky thing going on my right knee, so it's a little challenging to be on my knee these days, but I'm working on it. So bring your shoulders back and collarbones forward. So if you see me adjusting, just listen to my cues, right? So you're off of the back knee, you're slightly in front of it, so the hip gets a nice relief. The back foot, top of the foot, shin are pressing down. Your heart is lifted, your collarbones spread, shoulders are back and down. Take one more breath here in this forward lunge, and then send it back to straighten your front leg. Squaring off your hips. Your toes can be up or down, so it kind of depends on you today. Take a breath in, and empty, fold over your left leg. So this is the hamstrings that we're finding hopefully a little bit more lengthened. They tighten up on us so much, especially if you're active in running. Now inhale, rebend the front knee. Take your hands and you perhaps want to move the blocks back as you, left hand is up, right arm is down. I knew I skipped something. And that happens again. Breathe. Now, you may want to straighten your front leg and bring your block back with you. Come on any height as you have the left leg straight and the left arm up. Continue to hug your hips towards the midline. Good, one more breath here. Exhale, rebend, hands to the floor or blocks. Tuck your back toes underneath you, lift the knee up. Good, inhale, that was fast, Michelle. Exhale, straighten your front leg, fold over and hips go higher. Inhale, rebend your front knee, hips drop. Exhale, straighten the front leg, hips high. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, straighten. Move your hands off the blocks or perhaps keep them on as you step your left leg high in the sky, three-legged dog. And lower your left leg to the floor, downward facing dog. So, we don't always land in the perfect position, but sometimes we actually do. So make whatever adjustments you need. Spiral your upper arms away. Open up the elbow creases towards the front of your mat, so you're slightly rotated outward. Inhale on your high toes. Shift forward to plank. Keep your plank position. Keep your arms straight. And then just drop your hips on your toes. So it's like an upward dog without bending the elbows first, without going to your tops of your feet. And then push back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Let your chest fall towards your thighs. Shake out your neck to get rid of any tension in your neck. Rise high up on your tippy toes and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Doesn't matter how you get there. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Take 2 fists in between your feet so you've got the approximate width of your hips, shoulders. And just fold. Shake out your neck, yes, no. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel down. And then place your hands to your hips. Elbows point back. Press firmly through your feet and rise up to stand. Good. Release your arms down by your side. And just feel the earth underneath you. All right, so feel nice and tall through your spine. Grounded through your feet. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel. Allow your tailbone to descend as your collarbones spread open. Breathe in and out. Spread your fingers. Engage your quadricep muscles so the legs are firm without hyperextending in the knee joint. Inhale, bring the arms over your head. Take your right hand to your left wrist. Turn your palm up and lift out of your waistline as you lean to the right side. Let your right ear and bicep meet. Open up your left shoulder chest. Lift out of the waistline so you find the most length you can. Good, beautiful. Inhale back to center and just switch the arms. Left hand towards, hold on to the right wrist, lift up and over. Pull the shoulders back, heart opens. Inhale back to your center point. Exhale, open your arms cactus style. Lift your heart. Make sure you're not moving from your lower back and dumping into your lower back, but rather lifting your middle upper back up and over. Maybe imaginary you have a stability ball there. Inhale, fold forward. Bring the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles up and away, head down. Shake out your neck, yes, no, all variations. Good. Release your hands to the floor blocks. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. And bring your right foot back to the back of the mat. Big step. Left knee over the ankle. So we've actually been here before, but we entered it differently. Right hand's going to stay on the block or floor. Left hand moves to your hip as you rotate to the left side. And then stretch the left arm back behind you, like you're reaching for something all the way to the back of your mat. And then take your left arm up over your head, hug your hips in, rotating from the torso. So keep your hips level and square. Shoulders will stack, take a breath. With your arm up, just like we did on our knee, we're gonna straighten the front leg, and you choose. Do you wanna take your block with you a little higher, or do you wanna keep your hand where it is? Or do you need to bend some more in the knees? Wherever you are in the perfect place for you. One more breath. Now keep your front leg straight and lower your left hand down, maybe on 2 blocks, one on each hand. Square your hips a little bit more because there's a chance that they probably weren't perfectly squared. Turn your back foot on its side. Bring your left hand on the inside of your left foot. Take your right hand to your hip and spin yourself towards the right side of your room. And then take your right arm behind you and lift it up in the air. So same thing, only on the opening side. So we have a little bit more space here. Bring your tailbone underneath you. Lift out of your waistline. Lift your right arm up, left arm down. So make sure your left side doesn't have tension in the neck and shoulders. Keep the space. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Now, like you're being pulled from your hand in the ceiling, look down at your left toes and rise up, just reverse. Right arm down, left arm up. Move your right hip towards your left side and find a little bit more side stretch. Breathe in. Rise up to standing up nice and tall. Right arm back, left arm forward. I'm going to just move my block as I turn the left foot towards the right. Bring the hands back behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles down. Heart lifts, squeeze everything close together. And then fold forward. Head comes down towards the floor, arms come up. So put a little bit of bend into your knees. Put a little bit of weight forward into the balls of your feet. And just fold and breathe, finding some relief through the hamstrings, the back. Take another breath. Good, now release your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Walk back to the front of your mat. Look forward, step yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise to stand, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, take the prayer to the heart. Bring your feet together. Interlace your fingers, release thumb and forefingers. Reach the arms up overhead, inhaling. Up and over to the right side, exhale. So a little bit more of a back or side bend, a little bit deeper. Find a little bit more of that edge. Don't fall off of it. And just find yourself in a space that you can maintain for the next breath. Inhale back to center. Exhale up and over to the other side. So again, there's a ball underneath your waistline. You're not collapsing into your waist. Everything lifts up and over. So we find length before we find depth. Inhale back to center. Heart lifts. Trace your fingertips over your ceiling, or you can support your hands on your back as you do a nice mild back bend. Lift up and out of your waistline. Inhale, come back up, biceps by the ears, and fold all the way down to the floor. Hands on floor, shins or blocks. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Big step. Nice, healthy step. Square your hips and shoulders. You can always drop your back knee to the floor. Your back leg, if it's up, is as if it were in plank. Bring your right hand to your hip, turn to the right side of your room, and then take your right arm behind you, and then up over your shoulders. So looking for the length. Anytime we bend or twist, we first want to find length. Inhale and exhale. Keep hugging your right hip towards the midline. Back leg is strong, firm. Breathe in and out. Now you can look down to do this, or just straighten your front leg. And then again, you can move the blocks back so you have a little bit more space to find, to explore. Breathe. Eye gaze going up is going to be the most challenging part, or challenging way. One more breath. Good. Release your right hand inside your right leg. Turn your left toes on the side. Bring your left hand to your hip. Good. And then take your left arm out and up. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. So all the corners of the feet are down, lifting into the right side waistline, stacking your shoulders. That means there's a little turn of the torso, and that means there's a little tucking of the tailbone, or extending it and pulling the right hip towards the left. Look down at your toes, inhale, rise up and reverse this movement. Left arm down, right arm up, and guide your left hip towards the right side of your mat now, or the front of your mat. Inhale, come on back up to standing. Both arms shoulder height. Turn your right toes forward. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace the opposite way, so not your habitual way. Just find it. Knuckles down, heart lifts. And then fold in between your two legs. Soften your knees. Put your head down. Put the weight into the balls of your feet. Shake out your head, yes and no. And stay. Breathe. Good. Release your hands underneath your shoulders. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Walk back to the front of your mat. Low lunge for a breath. Left leg steps to right, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Ride your breath to stand all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale. Inhale. So you should be at the top of your mat. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to floor, shins, or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to a high plank. Take a breath in high plank. Choose to go to your knees or right to downward dog, or stay with the vinyasa. Straight legs. Lift into upward dog or on your belly, low cobra. And then we all meet in downward dog. Don't rush through your vinyasas. Take your time. Breathe. Inhale on your tiptoes. Bend your knees, look forward. Take yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. Bring your arms with you. Exhale, bring the prayer to your heart. Release your arms. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bring them down to the floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. This is Surya Namaskar A. Step, step, high plank. Take a breath in plank. Shift forward, bend your elbows. Exhale. Inhale, upward dog. So now I said it before, if I don't say it each time, downward dog. You can skip the push-ups. You can add the push-ups. You can go right to down dog or child's pose. So let your body be your guide, not your ego. Inhale on your toes, soften your knees, look forward, take yourself to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, bring the arms with you. Exhale, prayer to your heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, arms come all the way up. If you know it, you can go on your own. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, step, high plank, take the breath there. And then exhale to low plank, push up, breath. Inhale, up dog. Pause. Exhale, down dog. Nice work. High on your tippy toes at the back of your mat. Float your right leg high in the sky. Good. Keep it nice and high so your shoulders stay squared. Then lower your heel. You might drop that right foot a little bit. Let's bring it down parallel to the floor. Toes point down. Shift forward to plank, bring the knee to the chest, round curl. Step your right foot in between your two hands. Take a block if you'd like on the inside of your right foot. Right hand down, straighten your right leg here. Turn your back foot on its side and take your left hand back and overhead, triangle pose. Tailbone is underneath you. So now your block can actually be in front or behind you if you're using it. Technically, I like behind you better, but I want you to choose what's right for you. Or no block at all. And there's no saying you have to use a block, but they are certainly, they make our movements much more accommodating. Good, look down at your toes. Inhale, come up and just reverse this position. Good, take your arms up shoulder height. Turn your right toes to the left. And bring your arms back behind your back. This time, grab opposite fingers, wrists, forearms, or some of you will take you can also use a strap or towel. Some of you will take a prayer position with the hands turning up towards your head. Inhale and exhale. This time, just let's go halfway down. Put a slight bend in the knees, or maybe more than a slight bend in the knees, and just begin to move your hips side to side. That's good. And then come back to center. Release your hands to the floor, lengthen your spine. Turn your toes open. Put your hands on your hips. Rise up to standing. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, palms face each other. Then exhale, bring your arms into your goddess position with your toes turned out. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone underneath you. Push through the floor, straighten arms and legs. Good, let's do about 10 of those. 2, straighten up arms and legs. Keep going, 3. Good. Take your time, 4. Open up, 5. 5 more here, 5. So some of us are on a glute challenge. 6 or 4. 3, and this is our glute challenge for the day. 2, not just 10 of them though, unfortunately. 1 more, we're gonna hold it down. Hold here. Hinge forward. Hands on thighs. Round your back, pull your tailbone underneath you. Extend your spine. Turn your toes forward, forward fold. Head down. Walk around to the front of your mat. Good. Step back to 3-legged dog, right leg in the air. Same thing we did right at the beginning of this set. Bend the knee a couple times, in and out, square your shoulders. And then let's lower the leg, find our plank position, measure it, and then pull back to dog. Bring your feet closer and lift high up on your tippy toes. Lift your left leg high up in the air. Nice and high, keeping your torso squared. Then lower the right heel and square your hips. Toes down, hips squared. Bring your knee to your chest, round curl. Look forward, step forward. Take your block on the inside or outside. I said inside before, but I'm going to keep mine on the outside now. Straightening your front leg. Then turning your back foot on its side. Trace your right hand back and up for your triangle pose. So for this pose, again, you might need to lift the block higher. Imagine that your back is leaning against a wall. So again, you're firming your tailbone downward, bringing the left hip underneath the right, left arm underneath the right. So, I can't see the space either. I just looked in the camera and noticed. So we just rotate the torso. Strong legs, look down on the inhale. Exhale, inhale, rise back up, reverse this. Pull your right hip towards your left hip. Inhale, rise up. Both arms shoulder height. Turn your left toes to the right. Good, inhale. Bring your arms behind your back. As you exhale, choose the way that you'd like to bind. Hands together in prayer, fingers, wrists, forearms. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, halfway fold. So there's a soft bend, maybe it's a bigger bend into your knees. Breathe in. Good. Now turn your toes out. Release your arms, hands on thighs. Lift your torso up. Bring the arms up overhead, straighten the legs. Goddess arms, bend your knees. Good, lift up. 2, bring it down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale up. 3. Good, keep going. Exhale, 4. Keep it going. 5. Trying to get your legs close to parallel to the floor. Tailbone stays underneath you. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one we hold. Hinge forward. Hands on thighs, turn your toes forward, forward fold in between your 2 legs. Inhale, lengthen. Walk around to the front of your mat, lower lunge. Left leg in the air, 3-legged dog. Open up your hip. And then turn your hips squared. Stay here or take a vinyasa of choice. You choose to take these push-ups or completely forget about them. Hips up in the air, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high in the sky. Open up your right hip. Now square your right hip. Knee to chest round curl, step through. Straighten your front leg, turn your back foot on its side. Choose if you want to block and where you want it. And then stretch your left arm up for your triangle. Good. Inhale, lift out of your waistline. Right arm up, left arm down. Put a soft bend in your right knee. Take a block with you if you'd like. We're going to step up into the air with our back foot. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Stack your shoulders, stack your hips. It's the same pose as your triangle pose, but one leg is floating. Now maybe the left arm comes up, and again, anytime you change your eye gaze, your balance becomes challenged. And so it's okay to challenge your balance, because every time we walk, we are actually challenging our balance. We're on one foot at a time. We just take it for granted, a lot of us. One more breath. Lower your left hand down. Keep your leg up, but square it. Bend your front knee softly and step back about 2 to 3 feet. Right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold over. Again, the blocks are very useful for those of us who are tighter in the back side of our body, so it brings the floor to us. So I'm working actively, pulling my right hip back and left hip forward. Rise onto your fingertips. Hands to your hips, rise up to stand. Once I get to standing, for me, this is a little bit far. So I'm going to shorten my stance, and I might even widen it a little bit as I put my hands on my hips and level out my hips. So the right hip goes back slightly, left hip goes forward, and the hips, I just kind of tilt the pelvis. Bring your right hand to your sacrum, left arm up in the air. Inhale. Lift out of your waistline. Strong legs, so scissor squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Lean over forward halfway, and then just adjust it. Look in your camera if you don't have a mirror. Reach, 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 reach. Then reach down or across your body on the floor, shins or a block. Turn your torso to the right as you hug your hips to the midline, and then rotate your torso open. Right arm comes up in the air. Breathe. Twisted triangle pose. Reach your fingers up and down in opposition. Keep breathing. And go. Because as you exhale, look down. Hands come to the floor. Lengthen your spine. Rebend your front knee and step back with your left leg. And then let's go ahead and turn to the left side one more time. Forward fold, take your peace finger grip around your big toes. Look forward, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and pull yourself closer to center line. Head down, hips up. This might feel really good after all the hamstring relief that we've done. Inhale with a halfway lift. Place your hands to your hips. Rise up to stand. Turn your toes out. You know where we're going. Arms come up overhead. Let's keep the arms up overhead this time. Palms face as if, or you can be, holding a block. Bend your knees. Keep the arms up the whole time. And then stand up straight. Squeeze inner thighs. Good. 2. Keep going. 3. There's always a rhyme and a reason. 4. 5. This rhyme and reason is our challenge. 6, making us stronger in the back side of our body. Not bigger. 3 more. Good. 2 more. We stay down on the last one. Stay down on this one. Hinge forward, reach forward. Trying to get your head and tailbone in the same line. Release the hands. Straighten the legs, turn them forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk to the front of your mat, low lunge. Back to your 3-legged dog, right leg in the air. Turn your hips squared. Now choose to take one vinyasa with a foot off the floor, one vinyasa without, or skip it all together. So you come forward, lower down, then the toes come down, upward dog, and downward dog. These are options, remember? It's like going out to a restaurant, picking out of the menu what we want to do, what we want to eat, A, B, C, or all of the above. Feet together, left leg high in the sky. Open the hip and the knee. Turn the hips square, knee to chest, round curl. Step it through. Straighten your front leg, turn your back foot on its side. Choose to have a block or not. Good. As you open up to the right side, breathe. Tucking your tailbone under. Good. Look down, inhale, rise up, reverse. And now from here, soften your front knee. Step forward with your left hand. Float your right leg off the floor. Spin yourself over to the right side. So take your triangle pose and then just lift the one leg off the floor. So it's the same positioning. If you're super flexy, make sure your left knee has either a slight bend in it, or rather than pulling it back, think about pulling it up so you're engaging the quadricep muscles. One more breath. Good. Lower the hands, square your hips. And then float your right leg back 2 to 3 feet and fold over your left leg. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward, inhale. Whoa, and fold over. I'm going to grab an opportunity for water. Good, one more breath. Inhale, hands to your hips, rise up to stand. And then just kind of feel your body out, right? I felt a little bit long, I felt a little bit short. Hands on your hips, leveling out the hips, left hand stays down. Right arm comes up, bicep by the ear. Lift out of your waistline. Inhale. And hinge forward. Exhale. Stop halfway. Notice the levelness of the hips. What happened here as we came down. Keep the length in the spine. Rotate to the outside of your left foot or inside or on your shin block. And then turn your torso and pull the left hip back a little bit more. Left arm comes up. We're looking down or up depending on you and your balance, what's going on in your body today. Find a little bit more movement, space, and fold over. Release your hands. Step back to a low lunge. Walk to your right side. Turn your toes parallel to each other, your feet parallel to each other. Inhale, hands to your hips. Rise up to stand. Arms up overhead, turn your toes out. So keep your head and tailbone in that same long line. And bend your knees. Good goddess pose. And stretch up. Goddess pose with arms overhead. With our upward facing hands. 2. 3. Now I know you're not going to believe this. 4, but when we finish these 10, we have more today, right? 5 more. But nice and controlled. 4 more. 3 more. Everybody, 2 more, and the last one we hold again. Bend your knees. Hinge forward. Like you're reaching something. I'm holding onto the baby carriage because it's in my way, but it feels pretty good. And then release the hands to the floor. Straighten the legs. Turn the toes parallel again. Inhale, lengthen. Walk around to the front of the mat. Low lunge. Step your left leg in the air. 3-legged. Open the hip. I know. And then tuck it to the center. Keep your leg lifted. Or put it on the floor. Or just skip the vinyasa. Try it. Don't try it. You know, it's you. Your choice. Downward dog is where we meet. Breathe. Walk your hands to your feet, back of your mat. Rise up onto your fingertips. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up, stand up. Bring your hands to prayer, into your heart center. Shift your weight to your left leg, lift your right leg up. Bend the knee, hold on to the knee or the big toe. Left hand moves to your hip. Stay here or extend your right leg out in front of you. Now, don't worry if the right leg gets straight or not. Nice, E.T. Nice, Michelle. Cindy, I can't really tell, but I know it's good. Excellent, guys. Hold on to it. Now, if you can let go without boomeranging, let go and reach the arms up overhead. Lower your right foot to the floor. Bend your knees, chair. Hinge, sit back, and then forward fold. Let it go. Separate your feet if you like. Hips, hands on your fingertips in front of you. Lower the head, chest towards your thighs. Let's ragdoll to stand up now. Pushing down to the feet. Bring the arms up overhead. Inhale, prayer to the heart. Exhale. Now send your weight to your right leg, and maybe you're just lifting the heel up, right? But you don't want to collapse into the leg that's standing, or lift the leg up. Hold on to it, 1 or 2 hands. You have your right hand wherever, and some of you will even go ahead and grab your peace finger grip around your big toe, and then some of you will begin to straighten the leg. Doesn't matter if it gets straight. Mine's not straight, but I'm more concerned with the hugging of this right hip in towards the center line. Breathe. Yeah. And a lot of this is determined by your hammies, which we worked on all day, all morning. Release it, lift it, lower your foot, bend your knees, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees. Drop your seat in between your heels. Come into your Malasana pose. If you'd like to sit on a block, that's another option. Just take a breath here. Settle in. Find some length in your spine. Hands come down to the floor. Hinge forward, straighten your legs. Don't turn your toes forward just yet. Bring your hands to your hips, rise up to standing. Good, bend your knees. Come on your toes. A little shorter stance. Down and up for 15, 14, 13. So you're on your toes, you can drop down if you have to. 11, 10. After these 9 more, we are done with our challenge for today. 7, here's the good news. The bad news is we have 1 more week. 6, 5, 4, 3, Texas, 2 and 1 we hold. 1, good, lower the heels. Back into your Malasana squat. Walk your hands down. And then walk your hands forward as you lift your hips and find your downward dog. Stay on your toes, keep your arms straight. Shift forward into your up dog on your toes. Lower your knees. Push your hips to your heels. Keep your knees close on this one. Child's pose. Bring the arms down by your side. Turn the palms up over by your side. Drape your shoulders open. Bring your chin to your chest and roll up slowly. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, left hand to the outside of the right leg, right fingertips behind you. Find length in your spine and then rotate. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, cross it over. Good, hug yourself again. Make some circles in your torso. Should feel a little bit different than we did before. Maybe just make the circles and rotate the other way. And then come on back to center. Good, release your arms, take them back overhead. Inhale. Right arm outside left thigh. Fingertips down, inhale. Twist a little deeper, exhale. Left arm up. Left arm cross. Hug your arms around your shoulder blades and make your circles or figure eights. Whatever you're doing, make it even. Like if you're going one side, go on the other side. And then come back to the center. Release the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Right leg floats high in the sky, open the hip, bend the knee. And then turn your hips squared as you bring your right knee to your right wrist. Step your left foot back, tuck the toes, look behind you. Check out that you're not sickling the foot. Rise up, sit up nice and tall. You can sit on a block, you can do this on your back. And then walk your hands down. So if you're on your back, for whatever reason, your right ankle will be crossed over your left thigh. And then let your body go down as low as it wants to, can go, without force. Right? Just let gravity assist you here. And don't force it, don't rush it. Two more breaths, everybody. On this inhale, rise up. If you have a block, move it. And then come up and just take your left leg all the way on the outside of your right thigh. Lift up. Make sure you're not sitting on your right heel. Hug your arms around your left shin and find the length in your spine. Inhale, stretch your left arm up. Follow it around to the back of your mat. Fingertips down, right arm comes up. Rotate your torso and then hook, twist, or bind, looking to your left as you draw the knee to the right. And imagine that the knee is pulling to the right, but it wants to hug against your arm, so the hip presses towards the left. Good. You should have a lot of space now. We've created a lot of space this hour. And in our hamstrings, look to your right side. Release. Take your left leg, bring it behind you. Tuck your toes underneath you and stretch your right leg back in the air. Shake it out, let it go. Downward dog. Take your left leg in the air, open the hip and the knee. And then bring the knee to the chest, come forward. Knee to left wrist, come forward. Right toes tuck underneath you, shimmy them back. Start in an upright position, find the length. Make sure your back foot's not sickling in. And then walk your arms out forward and stop at the first point of resistance and just kind of linger there for a moment. And then as you soften, then you can take it down more. So we never use force in our practice outside of gravity. We never use force. The natural movement of the breath, gravity, just that allowing the body to soften and relax will be what gets you deeper. Just a couple more breaths here. Inhale, bring your arms up. If you're on a block, remove it. Sit down on your left hip. Take your right leg up and around. And then just sit up nice and tall, hug on. Again, you're not sitting on your left heel. Take your right arm up, inhale. Bring it behind you on your fingertips, twist, left arm up, inhale. Exhale. Twist, hook, bind. Inhale. Look left, twist left. Good. Come on back to center this time. Lean back, shake out your legs. I'm going to try to just turn the angle of my mat. You keep your mat exactly where it is. And then just bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, hands under your thighs. Lift your chest up. Without holding on, keep the same position of your spine. Right? So nothing changed, we just lifted our arms. And if that doesn't happen, then keep your arms as they were. Good. Inhale. Pull your belly to your spine, round your back. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. And then continue in this scooped out position to take yourself down one vertebrae at a time to the floor. When you get to the floor, take your arms up over your shoulders. Bring your feet in a little closer. Cross your right leg over your left leg once, or maybe double bind. Take your right arm under your left once or twice, or maybe double bind. Inhale, lift your feet off the floor, stretch your arms over your head. Exhale, head and shoulders lift as you bring your arms to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, head down, arms, legs stay up. Exhale, head up, arms out. Inhale, one more time. Exhale. Keep your legs bound, head down, arms open up. Shift your hips right, let your knees fall left. And if the double binding is too restrictive, then undo the bind once or twice. Now before you come back to center, undo the binds. Hug your knees into your chest. Feet down on the floor. Left leg crosses over right once or perhaps twice. Arms up. Left arm under right once or twice. Inhale, lift your legs up. Arms overhead. Exhale, arms to the outside of the left knee. 3 times. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale, head down, unwrap your arms. Shift your hips left, let your knees fall right. Choose to keep bound or undo 1 or 2 binds. Undo your legs, come back to center. Hug your knees to your chest. If you have a block, grab your block and place it on one of the 3 heights underneath your sacrum. So you're going to lift your hips up off the floor and place the block at the sacrum. If you do not have a block, go into a bridge or support yourself with your hands on your back for your bridge, really on your pelvis, okay, for your bridge. So if you have a floppy block, hold on to it. If you don't have a block, again, you're in a bridge, supported or not supported. You could also have legs up the wall. And then stretch your legs one at a time in the air. Both legs off the floor. So again, you could be out on the wall with legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. We're just going to stay here for a few moments. I'm going to adjust my block. So your legs should be over your hips, not over your face. And then one at a time, stretch your legs down, maybe all the way out in front of you. That's going to depend on how your back is reacting to being high up on the block or higher up on the block. Soften your glutes. Let your hips splay open. So guys at home, if you don't have a block and you're not sure what to get, connect with me. Beautiful release for the front of our body. Beautiful extension of our spine. And opening for our heart. Bend one knee at a time. Place your feet on the floor. Lift your hips and articulate your spine down one vertebrae at a time. And then go ahead and hug both knees back to the chest. Take one happy baby. Rock side to side, or just stay centered. Release your feet, hug your knees close to your chest, and then stretch your legs out in front of you. Arms come down by your side, palms up, setting up for your final pose, Shavasana. Let your body surrender, let your body weight surrender into the mat and the earth. Be supported fully by the earth. Be mindful of not doing anything. Just breathing, just letting go. Let go of the breath that we've chosen to use during our practice and all physical action outside of your heart beating because you are breathing. So if you are fortunate enough to be able to stay longer in Shavasana, just turn off the sound, turn off the video. Lay there as long as you'd like, as long as you can. Or begin to make your way up and around to a comfortable seated position, moving slowly through fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, deepening the breath slowly. And then come on back around where we started, with your hands together at your heart center. Thanking yourselves for getting to your practice this morning. And I thank you for getting to your practice this morning and sharing time with me and allowing me to share and guide with you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace to all. Let's all bow down to each other and honor the peace, the goodness, the light, the love within each one of you. Namaste. Satnam. Go in peace. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Any questions, anything going on, let me know. At home, stay fit, stay healthy. Get vaxxed, wear a mask.